Hello and welcome to a Battlefield 5 details video. This isn't something I do a whole lot of, but recently in Battlefield 5 things haven't been going so well. So I've been trying to focus on some of the stuff that Battlefield 5 does well, and that is the details. Battlefield is always a game full of details, whether you're playing Battlefield 3, 4, 1, maybe 5, maybe some of the older ones. There's always these little Easter eggs and details that I find absolutely amazing. Now I've covered some in the past, and other YouTubers such as Teabag, who you probably all know by now, does a way better job of it than me, so I'd suggest going to check out some of his videos if you want details, and for historical accuracy, Flakfire is always great as well. But here are some of my favourites that I've seen over the past few weeks. Starting out, we have the tank with the exploding ammo rack. That one got me. That's the first time I'd seen it in action and didn't realise the tank actually exploded after you get the kill. Here you see it again, as this tank is showing signs of exploding after I get the kill, as the leftover ammo starts to set fire within the tank. Pretty cool stuff. It was introduced in a recent patch. Maybe you haven't seen it before, but there you go. It's quite a nice little introduction and adds a bit more atmosphere to the game, and I really do think Battlefield 5 can do with all the atmosphere it can get at this point. One more example of this detail in the background. Next up, 3 clips that I've taken from Reddit. These are from Elmo123, Wildwolf505 and Vudley. They show heel clicking, something that I've never seen myself, but apparently it's quite common. It's one of these little soldier details that you'll only see when looking at another soldier. Now I've looped them back. Let me know in the comments if you've seen this. Often I'll see the soldiers lift their knees up out of the water and try and protect their weapons from getting wet, which is quite cool. And sometimes you see them speaking as well. You see their mouths move and their eyes close as they blink through a sniper. But this one is not something I've seen before. Pretty cool though, and a nice detail. Here's a detail that I didn't think was possible in Battlefield 5. Cheesy245 sent this in to the Battlefield subreddit, a place you should go if you're looking for more details. They're often posted first in there. Now look at this, 2 transport planes collide with each other. Whilst sometimes the transport planes have annoyed people because they don't have the right factions, and obviously you pull your parachute when there's one of those parachute lines that are supposed to auto-deploy your parachute in the plane. Well, some details are just clearly wrong, but that one is pretty cool, as sometimes they will fly out of control and crash into each other. Next up, a detail that you'll often see when tanking. The tank pilot will often start coughing when there is a lot of smoke in the tank. You can hear this in the background. A few nice details with the MAB 38, a weapon that was recently introduced, or maybe not so recently introduced, but you know what I mean, one of the more recent weapons. Double triggers. Now the reason for this is one will be for the automatic fire and one for the semi-auto fire. If they actually use them in game, I'm not too sure. I haven't been able to go into the spectator mode and look at it. When private servers come around, I'll do more of that stuff, but for now you'll just have to make do with the pictures. Pretty cool though that it's historically accurate. Next up, a little detail that caught me by surprise the other day. If you're playing on Panzerstorm next to some of these chicken sheds, you can actually hear the chickens clucking away. You can't see them, I don't know where they are, but there you go, they make a load of sounds. I don't know what it is with DICE, but they seem to love their animals in Battlefield 5. We've got the whale on Narvik, the dolphins on Mercury, the chickens on Panzerstorm, and on Firestorm you'll also hear birds in the trees. When you fire a weapon, they'll fly away. Pretty interesting stuff. Also on Firestorm, the Schwimmwagen is a very unique vehicle. Quite cool. On the back of it you will see the propeller activate when you first go into water, and then deactivate when you come back out of it. Finally, a little detail that I noticed on Arras. This is a detail that I think could be done a little better, because sometimes when you destroy half the building, the smoke just keeps going up through the chimney, and usually you'd think it would come out from other parts of the building as that central flue got destroyed. But pretty cool nonetheless, a nice little detail, and it gives the impression that these houses have recently been lived in, and that was often the case in the war, as people had to evacuate their homes and didn't have a chance to take their things with them, or indeed put out the fire. Now, just at the end of this video, although I'm not going to be talking about details in particular, I did want to pose a question that I'm going to be taking a look at in a future video. Now, I'm going to be talking about the next Battlefield game, and at this point I have absolutely no clue what it's going to be. I have a feeling it might be a Bad Company 3 or maybe a Battlefield that's set in a more modern setting, but I actually don't know. And whilst people say, well, you game changers know what's going to happen, genuinely, hand on heart, I have no clue what's going to happen. And if I did, then I wouldn't be making a video like this, because I feel as if I don't really want to try and make some stuff up for the sake of views. However, I am going to be making a video speculating what it could be, and more importantly, what you guys want it to be. So leave a comment down below. Maybe you've already left one about the details, or maybe some details I haven't seen in the game so far, but in regards to the next Battlefield game, what do you want it to be? Are you more interested in the Battlefield 1 style game where the details are absolutely perfect, the game looks brilliant, and it's all focused on epic, all-out war with really gritty maps, lots of different content, weapons, maps, the whole lot? Or are you more interested in a Battlefield 3 that might look at some of the larger maps, taking it back to what made Battlefield so popular in the first place, or even going earlier than that to some of the more simple team-based Battlefield games, some might argue, like Battlefield 2? I, for one, would love to see a hybrid of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 with aspects of Battlefield Hardline, which was a game in a setting that I didn't enjoy but had some really, really good features in there. Battlefield 1 had the perfect marketing campaign, as did BF3, so aspects of both of those would be great, with the Battlefield 1 trailers that were awesome, and then maybe that Battlefield 1 atmosphere as well, because it really did make you feel like you were there, which is something a lot of games struggle to do. Now, the Battlefield 4 gameplay you see in the background, some of it's pretty funny, especially that hover tank clip, but it just goes to show how well a Battlefield game will hold up, with Battlefield 4 still looking great all these years later. But let me know what you think, just a little bit to add on to the end of this video, because I do want to get your input before I make that one, looking at the future of Battlefield. Thanks for watching, leave your comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.